Welcome to Slash Bash, where today I am bringing you another Entitled Parents Reddit video. Officer, I swear that puppy was hitchhiking. Greetings and salutations, Redditors. I'm feeling a curious mix of excitement and dismay at a recent encounter with another entitled dog parent. Excited because it's always fun having a new story to tell, and dismayed because these people keep finding me. This one is turning out to be rather long, but I hope to keep everyone entertained. My pupper and I were returning from the dog park with a quick trip to fast food place for lunch. Everything seemed normal. Managed to get all the way to the dead-end street in the suburbs that I live on before something odd happened. I noticed Adorable on 4 feet sort of meandering on the road. I think he was aiming for studied casual. Oh, my mom totally knows where I am and is okay with me doing a hecking big explore. Sort of gave the game away when he noticed my car and bounced right on over towards it. I stopped my car and did the best I could to block the road and jumped out to scoop up the little guy. I didn't want him to get squished if he made corralling him difficult. Once I've wrangled the adorable vagrant, I park my car on the side of the road and try to get him to stop wiggling long enough to check his tags. Turns out the little guy rejoices in the name Yo-Yo. No home again tag, just one with his name and a phone number, and one the dog license tag. I feel like the dog licensing board is going to have a few pointed questions for him about his hitchhiking. I dial the phone number on the tag and immediately get the FU button. Understandable, robocallers are a scourge, but this is about a puppy, not your car's extended warranty. I call again and get the FU button again. So I cross my fingers that this is a cell number and shoot the number a text. Hi, I just found Yo-Yo on the side of the street I live on. I'm contacting the police, so if you don't read this right away and can't find your dog, call them. Then I call the police non-emergency line and inform them about the puppy and his current whereabouts, and confide in the nice lady who answered the phone that I think he's up to no good. She laughs and assures me that they'll send over a professional to handle things. I honestly couldn't tell you why I didn't just drive down the other half of my dead-end street and let the fuzzies off at my house, but we stayed put. My dog got bent out of shape about the new guy getting to sit up front, and Yo-Yo got upset about a hammock being between him and my dog. Then Yo-Yo got upset that I wouldn't share my lunch and in protest decided the heads-up play was to pee on me. What came next was an even bigger surprise, and that takes some doing. When I called the police, I assumed either an officer or someone from animal control would just pull up behind me and get out, and then we could talk like humans do. What happened was a police SUV with sirens blaring roared down my street and parked 2 car lengths back at an angle to block the road. Then a stern voice ordered me to do something unintelligible over the megaphone police cars tend to have. The voice was not amused when I just said, "What?" After some back and forth, it became apparent he wanted me to exit my vehicle with my hands visible. I figured this wasn't a good time for sarcasm, so I grabbed Yo-Yo around his chest and extended him all the way out of my window and then stepped out of the car. Once I could look at the police car and see the officer inside, I relaxed at least partially. It was Officer Dave, not his real name, featured in a previous post of mine, with whom I am familiar. At this point, Officer Dave steps out of his vehicle and has an expression on his face best summarized as the fluff? Then he notices a stain on my lap and starts smirking. Dave knows of my misdeeds. Past, I am reformed honest. Someone adjusted streetlight times or changed the text of those electronic road signs. I'm a person of interest. Most anything else, it's not likely I'm involved. Dave tells me a woman called 911 reporting her puppy being stolen and held at this location. This struck me as a profoundly stupid conclusion to reach for any number of reasons, but I'm just glad nobody is shouting at me any longer. We talk about how I found the rapscallion, and then Officer Dave bravely holds the puppy for me and heroically gets his face licked while I show him my call history and the only text I sent. 2 FUs and a "for your information" text. No mention of nefarious attempting to ransom a puppy. We talk a little bit longer, and then Dave puts Yo-Yo in the back of his police car and comes back with a couple forms to fill out. And he says he's fairly sure this isn't a thing I can be prosecuted for, and promises to follow up with me when things shake out. He recommends I change clothes and says I'm free to go, then presumably has to puzzle out precisely how he's going to safely transport a wiggling puppy without an extra pair of hands in his car. Then I take myself, my dog, my cold lunch, and my cold surprise from Yo-Yo back to my house. A few hours later, after an unsatisfying lunch, a shower, and several hurt looks from my dog about not getting to sit in front with the new guy, I feel a lot better. Officer Dave calls me to follow up and says I'm in the clear. Apparently, the woman who called 911 saying Yo-Yo had been stolen forgot her boyfriend left for work that morning and might not have noticed Yo-Yo following him out of her fenced yard. She saw the missed calls, couldn't find Yo-Yo, and just assumed I stole him? She lives 2 streets away from me, and I'm honestly amazed he made it as far as he did for as long as he did unscathed. I did remember to ask if Yo-Yo was booked on vagrancy charges, and Dave said he'd been released on his own recognizance for good behavior. Dave wasn't able to tell me what happened with the lady who made the bogus call, but he did say that the department was profoundly unamused with her shenanigans. Sadly, I lacked the free hands and presence of mind required to appease the doggo IRS for photographic evidence of Yo-Yo, but I am able to provide partial payment. My pup is on the left. Your sister died? Too bad, I'll just empty the house. This happened 15 years ago. My sister died on the 27th of December 2007. The very next day, I got a call from a neighbor telling me people were emptying the house. So I rushed down to see my aunt, uncle, and their 4 kids emptying the house. They never called my mother or me, they just called my drunk of a brother and he let them in. When I arrived, I saw an SUV bursting at the seams with stuff and my cousin driving off with a smug look on her face. I exploded, called my mother to tell her about this, then stormed into the house to find 2 of my cousins in the kids' bedroom rummaging through the kids' things, another in my sister's room going through everything, and my aunt and uncle in the living room picking through stuff. My drunk of a brother was on the sofa downing a can of beer. I was beyond mad and screamed at them just what the flip they think they were doing. Keep in mind, I had just come from the hospital not 5 hours earlier. They smugly said, "Your sis is dead, so we just want her things." I snatched the jewelry box out of her vulture hands and tried to throw them out. I was only 26 at the time, so they took no notice. About half an hour later, my mother shows up and all hell breaks loose. She screams at them, demanding they bring back the stuff they stole, but they said no, they needed it for their grandkids. With that, my mother threw them out. She then ripped my brother a new one and locked up the house. Honestly, who steals from a dead person not even cold yet? This is John from Slashbash. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the video and want to be the first to know when the next one drops, subscribe. I'd love for you to drop a like, share it with your friends, and I'll see you in the next one.